Okay, Michael James with Twitter. I'm HDR Photography, and my blog is HDRIBLOG.com. What I'm doing here is just doing kind of a sunset shoot. The weather's not perfect, the sun's coming down. Unfortunately, it's cloud cover. So what I'm needing to do is I've got a flash unit up here with what is really meant to be used with a zoom, and also it's a magnifier. So it's meant to be used for birding for like a 300mm or higher. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to fill the area of the front of this house that is very dark. And then I'm going to back off of it, not use the flash, and then take a bracketed shot too for an HDR, so I can blend these in post. I'm going to replay this and slow it down so you can see the flash. So now I'm going to turn off the flash. I just bracketed it for 9 shots with a third of a stop in between. And that's it. Okay, let me explain what I did yesterday. You already saw that split second ago, but basically let me explain this particular unit and why I use it and how I came about to even use this particular birding instrument. That's really what it's for. It's for when you're out in the field and you need to fill flash, let's say a backlit animal or a bird, and basically this provides a very, very focused shot of flash, and because it's a magnifier, it ends up hitting, just the center frame and quite a distance. I mean, it travels unbelievable, where flash normally, you would lose its power way early. Now, because of that, it actually has an orange sticker in the pouch that this lens comes on, and the orange sticker says, warning, you could blind someone if used close distance. So you need to use this very wisely. Obviously, if you're shooting into a property, you don't want to shoot it where you're in the mirror, because the reflection is going to be unbelievable. It needs to be done on an angle. The other thing about this particular unit is it really doesn't make sense to use it unless you're like over 50, 60 yards back, probably even more. But there are times where it doesn't make sense to shoot a property from a certain angle, and I need to go a little bit further back. And that's why I started looking into a solution, because the power of the flash, you lose it. And when you're shooting in a high contrast daylight situation, it's just very difficult to fill in those areas, a patio, a porch, something of interest. An owner says, we really like the detail of this particular part of the house. And then obviously if it's like sitting in a dark shadow, they freak out because it's a very important piece to them. So what I did was I went around and I started looking around, and I couldn't figure out a solution. And then I thought, well, what if I could find a way to magnify the flash in that direction? Ultimately found this online. Can't remember if I got it at Adorama or B&H Photo, but I did get it through one of those different venues. It may have some kind of a skew on it. I could look at it if somebody was really interested, but I use this to basically, on those longer shoots, to fill flash those particular porches. And the nice thing is there may be 2 problematic areas on a property, and you just take the flash unit, take the first one, then swivel it a little bit and aim it, take the second one, and then I turn the flash unit off. I shoot brackets, because obviously this is all tripoded. And then on the tone mapping, if for whatever reason those shadow areas, those really problematic areas, I cannot bring up enough detail and light that looks appropriate, I'll then layer over using those 2 shots where I fill flashed, and I'll just layer over and I'll paint in light in those areas where I need them. And it's worked out tremendously. It's saved my butt in so many instances I can't even begin to tell you. If you're shooting real estate and you have these problems, if you've seen these problems before in your own photography, this is definitely a good solution. Now, you just need to play with it at first, because it takes a little while to get used to. Let me zoom in on it and show you one of the different features that, or it's not a feature, it's something that I created as a feature. Basically, the unit itself is 2 plastic brackets. I can put my hand straight through here. So it's 2 plastic brackets that fit onto the head of the flash unit here, and there's a Velcro strap that goes around it. So nothing is actually on the flash unit. You don't have to install or put Velcro on the flash unit itself, because it's just 2 clamps that fit onto the head of the flash unit, and then the Velcro comes around it. Now I don't have it on there extremely steady right now. And then at the end, there is more Velcro on this particular lens. I keep calling it a lens, and I guess it truly is. See, as you can see, this particular unit, I just almost pulled it off. So what you have is you have this lens, and you can see it's just a thin and it's flexible. And what I normally do is I normally take the brackets and put the strap a little bit up closer up front, because what it does is it squeezes them in more, and because it squeezes these in more, when I go to put the actual unit on it, the lens onto it, then it buckles a little bit. So it creates a little bit of a curve up front here, so that when the flash hits it from this side, it disperses the flash a little bit more than if you didn't do that and you left this completely straight. So it's really up to you. You can, if it's one of the situations where there's a very small targeted area that you need to fill, then you would want these brackets to be a little bit wider, and you can see that lens gets straightens out. In some instances, you're going to want to do this buckle thing that I do here, and then that way it disperses it. But the nice thing about it is that you'll have situations where there'll just be one problematic area on the front of that property, and you just want to fill that area, and that's what this does for you. Now, in a situation when you might not be able to hold the flash unit itself, and you might be in a situation where you're afraid because of the tripod you have not being very strong that you might move the camera just a little bit when you swivel around the flash. One solution is, if you just have one area of the property to fill, is to just frame out a little bit wider. So just, if you've got a zoom lens, just zoom out a little bit more, put another prime on so you've got a little bit more room. That way, if it's a front porch that's off to one side, you can aim the center of the camera, leave the flash unit in place, it's already on. You fire and fill flash it, but because you're using a wider lens, you're able to fit the property within the full frame. Then you can hit your bracketed shot right after turning off the flash unit, and then from there you can merge those in post. So that's a kind of a workaround if you're afraid to touch the actual lens unit itself, because moving the camera even the slightest amount, it's amazing how much it can really throw off your ability to line things up in post. So I hope this helped you out. It's something that I had to figure out on my own. Don't know if there's actually a better solution out there. If there is, let me know. This is just one of those things where I didn't know where to go to get an answer for it. So I just sat down one day and thought about it, and this is what I came up with.